It took 12 suitcases, 300 pounds of supplies, 450 toothbrushes, 4,000 needles, 10 pounds of medicinal herbs. We were able to see 1,000 patients in 3 weeks. About 6 months after the earthquake hit in Nepal in August of 2015, I collaborated with a group of people who were able to do a aftermath medical mission. I was not actually supposed to attend this year. I had actually taken a break from medical missions as my father was ill, but one of the doctors backed out and I was called to jump in last minute. My collaborated together in less than 8 weeks to collect all the supplies needed and be able to prepare ourselves, my team, train us all, and get us ready to assist with medical issues and to do some training while we were in Namo, Nepal. We saw everything from sore backs, people with cancer, people with broken bones. I looked at x-rays in the middle of a mountain area trying to see what a person had gone to the hospital for. We found out for sure that the biggest concern after the earthquake, of course, was clean water. There were a number of different agencies that had come in to provide clean water, one of them being Global Medic. The interesting part is that the systems that are provided are on a filtering system. So once the filters are good for 3 to 6 months, they need to be exchanged and changed up. But a lot of the systems were very limited. I mean, you're actually looking at a lot of people using a very similar system for a massively dangerous time when there was very limited clean water in the areas. The interesting part while we were there is that every time we turned around, the danger was still there. Later, upon our arrival in Nepal, we were still going through like 2.5, 2.6 on the Richter scale. When we boarded our plane at the end of that month, they had jumped up to about 5.5, looking at creating another earthquake. So it was just interesting that you would drive down the road and there'd be a mudslide or there'd be another landslide and you'd have to find a way around it or clean it up to get through. A lot of our transport, as you can see, was done with army trucks because it was the only vehicle that could get up in and around the mountain passes with all the dangers that were still there. The cleanup was tremendous. People from everywhere and every place were in the communities cleaning up throughout Nepal. Outside of Nepal was actually the main city, Kathmandu, was a tremendous destruction. A lot of the houses are not equipped to handle an earthquake. They're not made of cement and wires and all the metal that we use here in the city. So it was really easy for buildings to collapse and just be a mess. So there is years and years of cleanup to be done, but it was so great to watch communities gather together to rebuild so much so quickly. The poverty scale was very interesting to see there. I have traveled to a number of different countries, and it's always interesting to see what it costs for things. So a $1 at the time was worth 100 rupees. And to get a cup of chai tea, you had to pay 160 rupees. Well, most people make less than 500 rupees in a whole week. So you could have 5 cups of tea or 4.5 cups of tea. It was really hard to walk. Had to go to get to a job. Some would walk up to 2 hours in flip-flops up mountains. I mean, they don't even have flat roads there. So you've got people carrying water and rice and groceries up these massive hills. One of the things that was interesting when we were on the monastery in Namo is that part of their mandate there was that they would make incense. And the incense was basically to sell to Westerners mostly who would visit the monastery and those kind of things. And then that money was used to purchase more medical supplies for their medical center that was on the monastery grounds. What did our team do? Well, as I said, we saw about 1,000 people over 3 weeks. There were 3 main doctors that worked there, myself, Dr. Julia Chang and Dr. Jangmei Jordi. Was the monks there, and we worked with him at the main clinic, and we also worked with him off-site. So what we would do on a regular basis is day to day at the medical center, families, people would come in, we would see them, we would help. We also tried to work training together on different medicines that they would use, medicines that we would use, techniques we would use to help each other. So it was really great to work together and help as many people as we could. We did a lot of work outside of the monastery as well. We took a couple trips 2 and 3 days at a time. This health camp that we raised, we had people coming in for days to travel to this health camp just to seek medical care. Lineups started like before the light came up, and we worked until there was no more light, just seeing people constantly on a rotation. I had 10 to 12 tables set up at a time, timing me and keeping me in rotation, and making sure that I could see as many people and help as many people as we possibly could throughout that day. Jangmei and Georgie from the Namo Buddha, he was fantastic because he also did some dentistry work and infections and different things like that. Of course, we were doing a lot of like acupuncture and acupressure and herbal medicines. And one of my mandates when I go and teach in other countries is that I try to make sure that we learn the herbs that are available in those countries so that we can teach medicine to the people that are there and how they can create their own medicine from what's available around them. So part of the dental piece is we checked teeth, we handed out toothbrushes, we made sure that everybody had, good dental care, and made sure that you're trying to make sure that, if we had to pull a tooth, we pulled a tooth, different things like that. It was amazing the number of people and students that were there. That thing that they spend their money on. They spend their money on the basics, food and water. We also went over to Thrangutheri Abbey, which is the female monastery, actually just outside of Namo Buddha. And we assisted with helping people in that area and that monastery with medical concerns, herbal concerns. We did a lot of teaching with the women here at this abbey to try and get them to be able to spread the word on medicines and things that were available for them in and around the area. The needs of the people continue. It's because of the poverty-stricken areas and the amount of earthquakes, and it's still shaking over there. Clean water is important. Medical supplies are important. Getting professional medical people over there, teaching them about self-care stuff was huge, and teaching about that herbal medicine. And then people were still coming from varying different organizations to building and developing and getting everything under control. What have we done since then and everything that we continue to do? Well, we continue to collaborate with the monastery and the monks there, doing some cross-teaching. We have talked about planning another mission there. We've actually put that on hold because of political concerns and illness concerns. Our safety of our staff is just as important, but we still collect and ship supplies there. We do fundraisers here for that. I try to find sponsors that are willing to help us with that kind of plan. And I'm always trying to train more people who are willing to learn some medical stuff and help with rebuilding, all those kinds of things that we can go when we take our next mission. I couldn't have done it without the support of all the people who donated supplies, helped me rush around for the 8 weeks prior to our trip, get everything we needed, all the support that I had with packing stuff. We had 12 suitcases to pack. My Richmond Martial Arts School, they were integral in getting us ready, prepared, and supported to go on this trip. To my own family and my husband who let me take off for a month, and try to support people across the world and not know where I was and what I was doing. The encouragement and support from all of those people was fantastic. Without any of those people, we would have never ever been able to do this trip. So as a little bonus, I wanted to show you some of the things that we did see. So this is actually on the monastery site. So one of the things is the prayer wheels that you would go and do every morning before going in to say prayers. going in to say prayers. The whole entire building, all the way around, is circulated with these prayer wheels. You spin them and you say your prayers, and the energy goes up to the heavens, and hopefully you'll be blessed with great things. The Golden Buddha, remarkably untouched after the earthquake. You can see the nights to go up every morning. It's all uphill. There's no downhill in Nepal. And we went up, 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 up all the time for food, or up to the monastery, or up to here. I don't remember going down much. The last picture on the very bottom is the Hill of Flags, and the prayer flags are bought, blessed by the monks, and then families and people hang them to say their prayers and to ask the heavens for help with the sick and the injured and the dying and the families that are left behind. One of the golden Buddhas we were able to see is in a private area that's for the monks only. Because we were, according to the monastery, treasured guests, they allowed us to go into different areas to look at different things and to see stuff. The very, very tall golden piece was in Kathmandu, and it's the stupa, one of the stupas that is in Nepal, that you can go around, tons and tons of people on the end. You'll see us standing at the Hill of Flags. You'll see the intricate artwork and the designs and the importance that they put into everything they do, and you can also see the hills going up and up and up. It was an amazing trip. I can't share everything that we did. I thank everyone who was able to help us once again, and I hope that this can inspire you and others to give up your time, share your love, and help everyone as we need it, because we're a world full of people who need help, and it was an amazing experience for us, and we're looking forward to our next trip. Have a great day. Namaste.